Leo, keep your senses wide open for the final day of April 2025, because the signal isn't subtle and it isn't random. When certain patterns in the heavens synchronize, they don't ask permission. They simply flood the field with a clarity that only the willing can handle. If this message has reached you now, it's because your field is already tuned to the new frequency. A current of rare power is gathering above and around you, and its focal point is unmistakable: your heart, your will, your crown. Many will drift through the coming hours as if nothing unusual is taking place. You won't. Something inside you has been quietly stretching awake, as if a sleeping lion has decided to rise and survey its territory at dawn. You can feel it in your breath, in the way ordinary sounds seem sharpened, in the way your body registers the room, as if every object had its own pulse. This is not imagination, it's orientation. Most people sense life only as it touches their skin. You are learning to feel it at the source. There's an edge of storm pressure in the air, an alertness that arrives before a breakthrough and asks, "Are you ready to carry what you've been asking for?" What I'm about to describe regarding April's last day in 2025 is something few astrologers or spiritual teachers have chosen to voice with full force. Not because it is sinister, but because it is vast. The intensity is benevolent, but magnitude always demands maturity. Leo, your emblem is the solar crown, and that crown is being polished by the sky itself. With greater radiance comes greater stewardship. Before we go further, take a slow look around. Colors, textures, small sounds, the way the temperature brushes your skin. Root yourself in this exact moment. Presence is not decoration, it's armor. Presence is how you'll receive what's arriving without being thrown off center. If one day could redirect the arc of your journey, what would you ask of it? April 30th, 2025 brings a convergence that rarely graces a lifetime. Your ruler, the sun, joins Jupiter, the principle of growth, generosity, and wide horizons, while both form a cooperative angle with Pluto, the engine of purification and rebirth. Completing this geometry, the moon pulls in close to Earth, turning the dial on tides both literal and psychic. For Leo, this choreography lands at a perfect angle to the part of the chart that governs life mission and spiritual enlargement, like a gate swinging open onto the next terrace of your path. Think of it as a lucid corridor straight through your usual limits, an invitation to step where you've only dreamed. Before we go deeper, anchor this with intention. Tell me in the comments your date of birth and your zodiac sign, and set a written imprint under this video for the future you're choosing. And if these messages from Leo Zodiac help you navigate, take a second now to subscribe to Leo Zodiac, so you don't miss the next wave of guidance that builds on what you're hearing today. Some ancient sources spoke of this kind of pattern as a leonine awakening cycle, an interval that stirs the royalty of the heart and the sovereignty of purpose. Whether you call it myth or memory, the idea is the same. Clocks within clocks, larger rhythms that press the accelerator on growth when courage is most needed. The last time a configuration of comparable spirits set the collective on edge like this, the world registered leaps in invention and influence, and many born under your sign acted as catalysts. This isn't just another special day, it is a hinge where the seam between layers of reality thins and you can reach through to touch what is usually veiled. If you could borrow your fully realized potential for 24 hours, what seeds would you sow to harvest over the next 7 years? 3 domains are primed for immediate consequence. First, creative force. If you write, compose, film, design, lead or build, expect arguments with the muse that end in surrender, hers to you. Ideas will arrive like lightning tracing silver rivers across a dark sky. If you've never thought of yourself as creative, prepare to be corrected. Creativity here is bigger than art. It is the raw architecture of reality. On this day, what you can see, bless and claim will carry tenfold momentum. Vision becomes blueprint, emotion becomes gravity. The universe hands you the stylus and lets you mark up the draft. Second, relationship truth. The fog that makes motives ambiguous will briefly burn off. You'll feel who stands before you, beneath style, beneath performance. Threads spun from fantasy may snap. Bonds woven from integrity will pull tighter, and some will be sealed with the heat of shared purpose. Your natural magnetism also swells. People will orbit you like you are their fixed star. That glow asks for curation. Not everyone seeking warmth is prepared for solar intensity, and not every admirer is an ally. The task isn't to dim, but to discern. Third, spiritual bandwidth. Regardless of your practice, the signal strengthens. Insights arrive unannounced, but perfectly timed. Dreams grow scripted with meaning. Synchronicities cluster into constellations you can read. Experiences that usually require months or years of meditation, flashes of unity, peace with no reason, may touch down without ceremony. It's not special effects. It's a curtain lifting long enough for you to glimpse the living tapestry behind events, the luminous weave that threads you to everything. You do not have to idle until the end of April to feel the engine rev. The prelude has already begun. Watch your nights. They'll carry repeating symbols and scenes that leave the echo of a message you nearly grasp. Notice repeating numbers, names, and near misses that feel arranged. That is your deeper mind acclimating to the higher voltage, sending ahead breadcrumbs to guide your pace. Many of you will report déjà vu as common as breath, as though part of you has walked this stretch before and is flagging the route. Your inner lion's voice, often softened to keep the peace, will grow exact and insistent. Trust it. Intuition is not a whisper in this chapter. It's the compass that keeps you aligned while the weather changes. What amplifies the urgency is timing. Our era has reached a fork where choices made now ripple down generations. The world needs warm-blooded leadership that doesn't confuse volume with valor, leadership that steadies, that dignifies, that makes courage contagious. Leo energy offers precisely that when it is clean and generous. The portal opening on April's last day is not merely for personal acceleration. It's a summons to stand where your glow does the most good. That doesn't mean podiums and spotlights for everyone. Some of the most potent forms of leadership are quiet, crafting beauty in a frightened culture, refusing to abandon integrity when panic trends, holding a center that others can calibrate to when they have lost theirs. Remember, you are not required to hustle the sun into shining. You are asked to move the clouds. On this day, your light will expand simply because light expands when given room. Ask yourself which qualities you want that light to carry. Do you want it to be healing, clarifying, fortifying, playful, relentless? Call it by name. And if this feels like it's putting language to what you've sensed already, gently press like now so the algorithm knows to keep bringing you messages that match the path you re-on. It helps more Leos find this guidance precisely when they need it. A caution, not to frighten but to prepare. Big voltage warms, and big voltage can fray if channeled through ungrounded systems. Expect your body to register the weather. You may feel waves of heat or a cool shimmer across the skin, small inner tremors, a charged quality in the chest, strange sleep, intensely vivid dreams. Treat your physical self as the sacred transformer it is. Walk outside. Hydrate abundantly. Keep food simple and close to the ground. Give yourself quiet in pockets. No noise, no screens, just breath and the sound of your life. This isn't asceticism, it's intelligent architecture for receiving. Light reveals shadow by definition. As your field brightens, habits built around wounded pride, approval chasing, or center stage defensiveness may surface louder for a moment. That's not a failure. It's an invitation to collect what's been exiled and reassign it a job. The regal strength of Leo isn't dominance. It's self-mastery. Let self-awareness be your standard bearer. Ask, which patterns, if brought into truth and retrained, would become my elite strengths? The answer to that question is often the map. Another phenomenon to expect is resonance sorting. What shares your frequency finds you, what does not, drifts. Don't be alarmed if certain plans gently dissolve or certain people step back without drama. The space created isn't a punishment, it's a landing pad. You will likely meet teachers, collaborators, and companions who arrive as if pre-arranged, carrying tools or keys you didn't know you were missing. Invitations may surprise you in timing and form. Some will look too simple to matter, some will look too large to be possible. Feel for truth, not spectacle. When alignment is the engine, effort stops feeling like strain and starts feeling like clean exertion. There's also a deeper layer to this sky work, one that reaches beyond this lifetime's storyline. Many traditions describe karmic knots, recurring loops that persist until wisdom is distilled. The April 30th window is permissive for dissolving those loops faster than usual. You may suddenly see the scaffolding beneath a behavior you could never quite name. You may feel a relief descend in an area of chronic friction, as if a contract you never signed has been fulfilled and filed away. Accessing this is less about technique and more about sincerity, a willingness to look without alibi, to bless what is true, to choose differently even when the old groove calls your name. You are not unaccompanied in that work. Ancestors, guides, and layers of your own higher awareness are close in this season. Many will feel a benevolent presence at the edge of perception, a hand on the shoulder in dream, a line spoken in meditation that lands with uncanny timing. So what does the soul of a Leo ask when it remembers itself? It asks to create, to protect, to delight, to lead by warmth rather than fear. And this portal isn't only permission, it's a reminder. Beneath roles and bios and performance is the original radiance you were issued, and it doesn't wear out. In the days leading toward the end of April, make deliberate space to listen. Ask, who am I apart from what I produce? What do I uniquely give that the world doesn't receive in quite the same way from anyone else? What has my heart been wanting to build, speak, or dare that I keep postponing for a safer season? The answers may arrive as pictures, as a steady knowing, as a sentence you wake up repeating. Don't judge the form, catch what comes. On the day itself, choose simplicity. You don't need ornate ceremony to meet an open sky. Welcome the morning with silence. Stand somewhere green or bare and unbusy, or simply sit by a window and breathe on purpose. Offer gratitude without asking for anything first. If you can, place a hand on your heart and another just below your navel and feel the current run between them. That's your line of rulership. Love and power braided, not competing. Then move through the day like a lens, clear, steady, allowing the light through. As the hours unfold, practice 3 actions. First, name out loud what you are willing to be responsible for. The quality of your attention, the temperature of your speech, the integrity of your yes and your no. Second, write 1 paragraph declaring the future you are anchoring, focused on feeling, contribution, and character, not just outcomes. Third, take 1 visible step that your future self would thank you for starting today. Small counts. Momentum respects courage more than scale. Some of you will feel the urge to make contact, to share what's stirring, to put language to the patterns you're noticing. Do it here. Tell me in the comments how your dreams have changed, which synchronicities are clustering around you. And yes, share your date of birth and your zodiac sign, so this space becomes a living field of Leo data points lighting up at once. Your reflections help other Leos track their own signals, and if the guidance from Leo Zodiac has been an anchor for you, make sure you resubscribe to Leo Zodiac so you receive the next transmissions that deepen this one. The sequence matters, and I'll be walking you through preparation and integration in upcoming messages. As you walk into this window, hold one phrase like a talisman. Remove the clouds. You don't have to force brilliance. You make room for it. When attention is clean, generosity natural, and courage disciplined, your presence becomes medicinal. People stabilize around you without knowing why. Rooms get kinder. Conversations rise in honesty. That is leadership. That is how a Leo rules, by regulating light, not hoarding it. And if midway through this, you need a reminder that you're not doing it alone, glance at the thousands of hearts reading along with you now. We are calibrating together. If this transmission is nourishing that work, tap like now so it stays in your field and finds the Leos who are looking for it without knowing what to search. Expect, too, that the universe will test your gates. Opportunities will appear that look like the past, dressed cleverly as progress. Old triggers may knock softly and ask to be let in out of the cold. This is where you practice loving refusal. Loyalty to your becoming is not betrayal, it's devotion. Say no without drama. Say yes without bargaining. The day has a way of rewarding clean choices with swift confirmations. An email appearing minutes after a decision, a message answering a question you wrote in your journal, a path clearing where a wall stood yesterday. If grief surfaces, honor it. Many of our patterns kept us alive when conditions were not kind. Thank them, retire them with ceremony, then reclaim the resources they guarded, your time, your voice, your courage, and reinvest them where the return is light. This is how dignity grows. Not by pretending you were never afraid, but by refusing to let fear hire you as a messenger. As twilight moves across that date, you may feel a fatigue that isn't tiredness, but relief, like a long exhale that finally empties to the bottom. Sit with it. Write what surprised you. Mark what you promised yourself. Name who you became, even a little, because naming cements change. Then rest like someone who trusts the morning to take the baton. Know this: you did not land in this century as a Leo by clerical error. Your combination of bravery, play, and loyalty is medicinal in an age that oscillates between cynicism and panic. The steady flame you keep is not a private decoration. It's a lighthouse. It calls ships home. It keeps you home. If a throne is a metaphor you resist, try this instead. Be the hearth. Warmth that gathers the scattered. Fire that cooks the raw into the ready. Light that doesn't ask applause to keep burning. Are you willing to sit in your rightful center and reign over your attention, your choices, your art, and your love? That is the sovereignty in question. This message doesn't end when the screen dims. It begins where you stand up and convert insight into action. The gate at April's end swings open either way. What you carry across it and who you become on the other side is the art only you can make. Share below what signs and signals are already announcing themselves. Your date of birth, your zodiac sign, the symbol that keeps visiting your day, the dream that won't let you go. Let this comment field become a map of Leo awakenings. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Leo Zodiac so you stay connected to the next chapters of this guidance. Each one will build on the last to help you integrate what you awaken on April 30th. Before you go, remember to like this video. Small actions move big currents here. And when you're ready, hit subscribe to Leo Zodiac and ring the bell so our next message arrives right on time. Your crown is not waiting in the distance. It's already resting where your hand is. Lift it, walk, shine.